more.
It's 2 claps first up and 1 second. Huh? Okay, camera set.
Okay.
Look ugly! Bye back!
There's a lot of good acts around, plenty of profound performers, but there's only one who really gets through to me. Whenever you come on, I light up. Everything you do goes down well. I can tell, after you it's all downhill. Yeah. Moving your heart act to follow. You're a hard act to follow. Make it difficult. It's difficult, yeah. Hard act to follow. You're a hard act to follow. And me and arms length, sapping by strength from a distance. Hard act to follow.
Did you hear it? Did you say it? How does it go? How does it go?
Thanks.
The streets of Rosario, the start of a road which would lead all the way to Twickenham 5 months later. A journey without a pressure bypass. And from the beginning, there wasn't too much time to refine those brilliant ball skills before getting back into business.
Keep it moving! Drop it down! Drop it down! And...
Fortunately for Richard Lowe and the rest of the scrum, the Rosario cheerleaders weren't the opposition. However, there wasn't too much funny about the start to the 1991 All Black season.
Coming across to this side of the field.
30 seconds after kickoff, we had lost one of the best players in the world, the Iceman Michael Jones, feeling his hamstring go as he tried to charge down a kick.
Here's Henderson. Played very well since he came onto the field. Here's Craig Innes, who's run hard and straight all. That's a lovely pass to Timu. Now Timu has the pace here. If he wants to, he can get out of a few tackles. He has. And now here's Little charging. Back to Timu. Henderson there, and Paul Henderson's going to get his first try for the All Blacks.
There was still a bit of good news in the All Blacks opener, about 81 points worth, as the boys overwhelmed the locals. To start the tour, pretty well. But with a vital player already injured, it was hardly a perfect start.
No, you've just strained it. You know, you haven't torn anything. Definitely not.
No hole there,
No.
A bit lumpy there. Bit lumpy.
The next day, chilling out, waiting for the game against Cordoba, we picked up a rumour from home. Yeah, Rob Gordon, an All Black to France last year, had apparently made the big change.
Gordo's gone to league.
Hey, no problems on X-ray?
Bobby G's just taken your spot. Bobby G's has gone to league. You got the dream room,
Oh, bullshit.
yeah. Has he? Yeah. You got your contract at Manly. Yeah.
Just change your name.
They didn't screw it up in the intro. They just tweaked your name out. Zinny, did you hear the news? No, I didn't.
Don't worry, Grizz, you don't have to cross Bobby G's name off the list. Like most rumours, there wasn't any truth in it. For those who hadn't played against Rosario, the Cordoba match was to be the first game for the All Blacks in 1991.
Just gradually warm up with it.
I'm right, mate.
You haven't even had a bloody game yet. Oh, yeah.
Anyone for the SAS?
This type of game, right, same as the last game, we concentrate for 80 minutes.
That's all it is. It's attitude and thinking about it. It's not running to the bloody scrum to have a rest. It's there to do some work.
The second game on tour was our first night game, meaning a lot of waiting around. So to kill a bit of time, on match day, a boat trip across the lake was called for.
Sería 600, 6 por 4.
You get all that? Yeah. I'm sick and tired of helping you.
Joe practicing the New Zealand style of crowd control.
Then the call will be ring-a-ring-a buckia,
A little fine tuning before kick-off.
wai takahia, kaki no ne hoki. Eki no ne hoki. And then you go into it, okay? It's just... Yeah.
Wheels.
Pitter-patter.
Pitter-patter pancakes.
Opa! Opa ne topa ne fitite.
Sometimes you wonder whether it's the only song they know in Argy. Fortunately, Craig Innes made sure they didn't have too much to sing about in Cordoba. Posty, obviously remembering his days on the wing. Even some of the older guys got into the act. But while we won comfortably enough, it was hardly a memorable performance, except for one moment that would test even the most hardy of deodorants. It started when Mike Brewer went down injured, but decided to play on. I think the coach disagreed with his decision, and when the whistle didn't attract attention, a different form of communication was called for. And Bruiser, quickly noticing that his presence was required off the field. It's always been a mystery to me why they call him Grizz. Mike Brewer, your time is up. Even though it wasn't the greatest match, for me, it was good to get my first game out of the way and finally start the World Cup campaign in earnest. If I say World Cup, what's the first thing that comes into your mind?
Other things come into my mind, especially as we get closer to it. Yeah, I'm apprehension. You know, at this stage, the team's not ready for it. We're not far off. Excitement of it. You know, I desperately want to be there. I'm sure everyone else does. And I think as we get closer, we'll get better with it and prepare.
Feliz estadía. Ayude confortable.
Back in Buenos Aires, Graham Purvis was preparing for his career after rugby. While AJ Wetton's mission was to dispose of his banana skin without causing too much attention.
Muy bien, a ver.
Please, do it, perfect.
Hi, how are you? Oh, hi, very good.
On the shoulder.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Angel.
Mission accomplished. AJ was just worried about someone slipping on it. Soccer is definitely the priority in Argentina, but that's not to say that they aren't that keen on rugby.
Yeah, he's there.
Jones, Q1.
Sure, there he is.
What? Q1?
Yeah.
Hey,
Go and see him.
Q1, boludo.
Go and chase him.
What?
What
does ole? What does that mean? Here.
Spot the Kiwi. This is the stadium in Buenos Aires, where we play half of our matches on tour. It's always good to pop in for a visit, just to get the feel of the place. The kickers aren't immediately impressed by the Vélez Sarsfield Stadium. Someone forgot to unlock the gates to get onto the field.
No. Wait on, don't stand on that.
The match itself against the local selection was hardly a classic. We won 37-9, but as a team, we still weren't just quite gelling together. In Argentina, they seem to have different interpretations of offside and killing the ball. Still, Such are the realities of touring, and it was just a case of taking our chances when they occurred. The best news of the day was that Jonesy had come through the match with his hammy intact. We needed all the looses we could get.
Just to get through the game, because you know I'm really looking forward to the next game now, because I've got that behind me, and now that step, you know, the hurdle was to play as good as I could with the hammy and get through, and then you know really be fizzing hopefully by the next one.
Now the Lucies, well, they were an injured breed on this tour. AJ still hadn't played thanks to a calf injury. And after getting his knee right, Bruiser was struck down with his troublesome heel, both desperately needing to get through the next match against Tucuman. On the surface, a mild-mannered town in the Argentinian heartland. But we're about to find out the effect rugby has on the Tucuman tempo.
1, 2, 3, 4. When my baby's walking down the street, I see black, I see black, I see black.
The All Blacks are obviously a group of very serious, mature young men. And with a tough match against Tucuman coming up, the ideal build-up is to smash each other around a bit, just to get a taste of what lies ahead. Now, this may appear like grown men playing children's games, but really, it's a carefully thought-out training strategy. OK, it's grown men playing children's games, but we had lots of fun. But there's no worries about taking Tucuman too easy. We'd heard enough from the guys who'd played in the New Zealand Maoris battle of Tucuman 3 years earlier.
The walk out, and then they started chucking bottles and fucking up there. Yeah, bottles and ice. And then we came back on the field, in the middle of the field. It was just after the game? After the game had finished. We came back on the field, and we had to change jerseys with the opposition. Before they let you out? Before they let you out. And then they thought, and then they started speaking Spanish. And then we got out, and that's when there was 2 old men just up the top of the tunnel with umbrellas, just whacking the shit out of us, eh?
Something to look forward to. Still, we had enough to worry about on the field. It was left to AJ on his first game on tour to finally get the ball over the line.
Quickly taken. Here's Basham trying to get through. Gives it up to Alan Witten. Alan Witten crashing through, and Alan Witten gets across to score. And that will be of great relief to a lot of people. And well done to Alan Witten, back in rugby just 20 minutes after 8 weeks away.
As expected, Tucuman were giving us our toughest match on tour so far. They thought they had a chance of winning and never stopped trying. But unfortunately, Mike Brewer had to stop. His heel injury really causing him some problems. Eventually, we managed to find our way through the Tucuman offside trap to wrap this game up 21 points to 9. A satisfying result. Well, we enjoyed it, but I don't think the locals were quite as happy as AJ was with the win, surviving the match and his calf injury.
Well, I mean, didn't feel it, but you know, I decided for the next 24 hours again and look after it, and I'm reasonably confident now that I'll be able to see out the tour and hopefully finish on a high note.
For Mike Brewer, though, the chances of finishing on a high note were disappearing fast. It was obvious the heel injury wasn't going to mend overnight. The next day, the decision was made. Bruiser was going home, back to New Zealand. Whose decision was it?
It's mine, because I think I don't like being on tour and not being 100% and not being able to give 100 at training and on the paddock. So for me, there's only one decision.
You had it in France. What exactly is it? What is actually wrong with your ankle?
It's actually on the bottom of my heel. It's just like tennis elbow, but it's on the bottom of the heel. It's like tendonitis. There's a fascia that runs from the heel up to the bottom of the foot, which holds the muscle in place, and it's just like tendonitis of the foot.
True story. Straight to Sydney. Gone to, straight to Sydney to East.
No, Bruiser wasn't going to rugby league. He was going home to get that heel right, and in the process, leaving the number 8 test spot wide open.
Home, James.
Mike Brewer was a big loss to the side on and off the field. He was obviously in line to be an integral part of the World Cup squad, and it was hoped his early return home would lead to an early return to action. Two days later, I thought I was going to join Bruiser at home. A week out from the first test, my hammy went in my 4th game in a row. It happened during this try.
And Kerwin's going to try and stand up the fullback and go, and John Kerwin again.
I stepped the fullback too early, and so had to rely on speed to get around him. It was simply a case of trying to move my legs too fast. I shouldn't do that sort of thing. The good news was that we won the game. The bad news for me was that my test chances were in doubt.
Aren't you though?
What?
I'm pretty happy though that it's just your biceps femoris and maybe semitendinosis or
As long as I don't have to
semimembranosis.
spell it, I'm happy.
Physio's humour. Next stop was Mendoza, in the foothills of the Andes. But while the others adapted to the altitude, I was back on Tiki tours, the injured list.
So, as I say, yeah, Friday afternoon we'll just do a fitness test, and if everything's okay, then you go for it, and if not, we just aim for the second test.
Whereabouts in the saw?
Oh, it's actually this one.
Yeah, we're up here a long way up near the Andes. I think we're 3,000 feet in the air. Have you noticed the ball travelling further?
Yeah, just had a few punts now and hit them all right for a change. They seemed to go a bit, which was good.
And a little bit of indecision amongst the selection backs. They finally cleared it. And this is Crowley. Now, he might unleash a drop kick here. It's a long way up, but they travel a long way in these conditions. That's a magnificent drop kick from Kieran Crowley.
The match against Mendoza was expected to be pretty tough. Difficult conditions and a local selection which had beaten England. And Sean found fairly early they were pretty fiery opponents. More on that later. The locals were getting pretty frustrated, perhaps because we were scoring most of the points. But things were getting close to boiling point.
On. Ian Jones with him, but Fitzpatrick does it himself. And goodness me, one of the local side players is a bit wild. I think he had a crack at the touch judge there, didn't he?
Funnily enough, it was after they scored a try that things finally blew, when the local first 5 decided to put the boot in. And it was decided by us that enough was enough. A month's frustration and the general pressure finally took its toll. The result, the local try scorer was out cold before he had a chance to watch his try be converted. The All Blacks didn't see the conversion either, because instead of being spat on, this time it was bottles and oranges that were the missiles. But the good thing about Mendoza was after the disagreement, everyone had sort of calmed down and was perfectly good-natured. It was as though the fight had never happened. In fact, the only resulting violence was over an All Black badge thrown from our bus window. I suppose with the massive inflation rate here, a stainless steel badge has investment possibilities. The next day, the test team is named. Perhaps the most tense time on tour. I still had to prove my fitness before being included in that team, which at this stage included one new cap, a happy Paul Henderson earning his open side berth. Michael Jones moving to the number 8 jersey.
Halfback will go with you. That's the time to pick up. But if it's not, if it's quick and he's gone, then boom, it's straight. You've got to pass off the deck. So have one more off the deck.
It's good, thanks. Yeah. It's not a rush, eh? It's just timing. I mean, wait. Good.
It was a real tough call for Zinzan, but he still had plenty to play for.
when you go up, you just got to come
I
down.
reckon golf helps you relax, not when you play like this.
It's all right. See, that's where I wanted to put it.
That's good.
That's right.
Good shot. No, good shot.
For me, the next day was decision time, and I only felt confident of being 80% fit, so I had to tell Grizz I was out of the test side. My bad luck was good fortune for John Timu, who was now set to take the field in his first test.
I get a test because JK's injured, you know. That's one of the reasons why I was first called up into the All Blacks, you know, because when he did his Achilles tendon. So, you know, I'm pretty disappointed for JK, but same as Bruiser, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
It's a sort of attitude in the whole team, isn't it? If you get in there, well, the half you feels really pleased and a wee bit feels, you know, a wee bit sad for the guy that you replaced or who's injured or whatever. And, you know, I suppose it's the mentality of a lot of the players, and that's how they get to the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
The test had arrived.
When my baby's walking down the street, I see black, I see black, I see black.
I think it'll be a difficult game, but I'm hopeful that the All Blacks beat the Pumas.
Excuse me. Thank you very much, reporter.
The first test was a frustrating affair. We probably underestimated Argentina a little, perhaps forgetting at home that the Pumas are far more committed opposition.
The little kick ahead for Terran. Crowley did well, got out of the first tackle. Looking to get through, gave the pass up to Terry Wright. He almost held on to it. Andy Earl is stripping. Alan Wetton has gone down. Fox from right in front. And there is the penalty goal that sets the record for Grant Fox. He gets a handshake from Sean Fitzpatrick. Innes running powerfully. They can't put him down, Craig Innes. He released it cleverly to Terry Wright. Here's Sean Fitzpatrick. Now the All Blacks have an opportunity. Fitzpatrick still going.
Just try to retain possession, all right? That's what Lane always says. Retain the ball. You go from scrum to scrum. You go to scrum, you must keep that end up, eh? Out ball. And keep our discipline.
So it's first three paces to the next phase. We're just cruising on those first three. Let's let them get down this first three, and we'll be there on time.
Here's Innes. Now Crowley. Crowley has got a long sprint ahead of him. He's really pinned his ears back. Garreton scores. He's going to unleash a big drop kick, Kieran Crowley. It's not a bad one either. It's a beauty, and it's over. What a kick from Kieran Crowley. Fantastic. Henderson took it off his Otago teammate. He's done well, has Ginge. Innes looking for support in field. Comes in the form of Walter Little. Ball close to the line, Andy Earl. Here's Andy Earl running. All Blacks have a chance here. Basham into the gap. Basham has support from Terry Wright, who's got all the pace in the world. That's a lovely try.
There's no doubt about it. There was a lot of mistakes, and we realised that there were. But then again, as some of the players here have said, when they've played here before, it's one of the highest wins that an All Black side's had here. They've always been hard, and we knew that.
I wanted to see what the difference was between playing for the All Blacks and other games and test matches, and they're aptly named, you know, it's a real test.
Do you get a real buzz out of it, getting out there?
Yeah, I did actually. It's just going out there and being with the players and the crowd was, you know, it was quite good actually, and singing your national anthems, of course, and it's a day I won't forget.
Good boy. Now, Ginge, I'd like to have a beer with you tonight if that's okay by you.
Can we have 3?
Well, I'd like to have 1.
Right? You have 1, I have 2.
It's a deal.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Good luck, matey. Well done.
Is that it?
Next stop, Plata, a nice relaxed place where the kids don't mind sharing their toys. But despite the fun, there was still plenty of tension around. We were still looking to improve. Personally though, I just wanted to get back on the field in time to play the second test. My chances of playing that test were getting better, which unfortunately was not the case for AJ.
Watching another game, eh? I'll just go and sulk with Johnny.
You've just got to have a sense of humour about these things. The actual Māori Plata match was hardly a classic, but the boys out on the field under captain Joe Stanley did themselves proud by having a go and moving the ball, which eventually paid off. This was an important match for Zinni. After missing out on the first test, he was determined to get there when the second test team was named.
Brooke, Earl and Jones, Wetton and Jones, and the hooker is Sean Fitzpatrick, and the props, there's a bracket between McDowell and Helena, and there's also a bracket between Lowe and Purvis.
A day later, Grizz confirmed that test props would stay the same. By delaying the decision, I guess he was looking to boost the motivation. I think the coach got what he wanted. In fact, all round, I think the motivation was pretty good for this match.
Get it up. Get down low, James.
There's some lightweights there against you. They dominated the scrum the other day. I'm saying, if you had a good look at it last night, if you saw it, you bloody will see that too.
What I'd like to do is get into the game very, very early, you know, like maybe, you know, settle down, just get the nerves and that settled, and maybe in the first 5 or 10 minutes, you know, maybe pick the ball up off the back of a scrum and that, and just sort of get into the game. You know, things like that help, you know, because, you know, if you can sort of get a couple of runs with the ball or make a tackle on that, you know, you sort of things seem to go your way and get right into the game. And you know, all I really want is just to be part of the team, you know, just to be part of a team that's going to play for 80 minutes.
We make the game go the way we want it. Don't let them dominate it. Don't let them kill the bloody ball. Don't let them get the ball line out. Push us around the scrum, screw it. Pick the place up. Get out the ball. You're out for yourself. Are you good enough? Just play.
Stuff from the All Blacks. McDowell still on his feet. Superb run by Steve McDowell. Now it's up to Richard Lowe. The All Blacks are going to keep it a bit tighter today. Gets good support. Zinzan getting there. Referee looks and says yes. Zinzan with the support of Andy Kerwin though has it. Kerwin looking for gaps. Has it from Crowley. Here's Innes. Back to Zinzan Brook. And support from Michael Jones, and the All Blacks have another one. Here it goes, Nunes pops it up beautifully for Basham. All Blacks have a show here. Kerwin, oh, lovely effort. John Kerwin will score a marvellous try. The floodgates are starting to open now. Kerwin in for his 29th test try. Brilliant effort by the All Blacks. Craig Innes off, and Terry Wright scoops it up. And another one for Terry Wright, number 4 for the All Blacks today. 36 points to 6. This is not a team in disarray, a team with no game plan, or a team that's floundering. This is a top All Black performance here at the Sarsfield Stadium in Buenos Aires today.
So it was off home, Aerolíneas to Auckland. But even though we were all pretty tired, there wasn't too much time to recover. 2 weeks later, we were on the road again to visit our neighbours across the Tasman.
1, 2, 3, 4. When my baby's walking down the street, I see black, I see black, I see black.
Same story, different location, different team. This time Buck was leading a New Zealand B team in Brisbane. A combination of experienced campaigners, names like Shelford, McCahill and Stanley, and alongside them new names, Graham Dowd, the prop turned hooker from North Harbour, and outside halfback Jason Hewitt is John Preston. Here a first five, but also another halfback. And there's nothing wrong with being a utility with World Cup selection in mind. And when Paul Henderson left the field through injury to prepare for another comeback, Mark Carter made the most of his chances in the often called on number 19 jersey. It was a pretty scrappy match, but the New Zealand side managed to put it all together when it counted, minutes out from full time. Ian Crossan sealing the match for New Zealand by scoring all of their points. It was a good effort by the Lane Penn coach side to come out on top. Some new talent have been given a chance, but just as importantly, the stage is set for the test 4 days later. The Test reserves, who were part of the New Zealand B team, then flew down to Sydney to join up with the rest of us as we prepared to take on Australia, the next stop along the road to the World Cup.
Beautiful boy. Good to see you.
We'd made a few late changes to the Test 15. John Timu had come in on the left wing, with Terry Wright moving back to fullback, replacing the injured Kieran Crowley. His Achilles flaring up just at the wrong time. Still, despite the adjustments, we were still training pretty well for a match we knew wouldn't be easy. Against an Australian side, riding high after beating Wales and, more importantly, England. Apparently, we even impressed a couple of the locals who popped down to check things out and perhaps even pick up a few goal-kicking tips.
He used to kick at senior football.
Oh, JK.
But age hasn't helped him.
It sounded better. Yeah, that's right.
What am I supposed to do?
He's got to get your shoulder up for a start. You're running sort of.
Am I? So what do you do? Just run on this?
You look
I'm really
good, though.
serious, Foxy. I've got a kick, mate.
Get an arc going first. You're going straight at the ball. You've got to get an arc going. So either come out to the left and go right, or come feet around the corner and get your arc going.
Okay. It's an arc. It's an arc.
Got to get knocked.
Nice arc, Zinny.
Yes, he. Go home now.
Our base for this test match was the beautiful Manly Beach, which basically is rugby league territory.
Watch out. Get up. The leg. Lift the leg. You can play on. Great tackle. Where's my support here? No, Anton, do something. Right. Hut 22. Go, Jojo. Hut 22, 63, 45.
The build-up for this test match was the best for years. Things just felt good. And the Aussie press showed out in force for our last training. But they wouldn't have learnt much. Practice was basically a walk around the stadium. We were stopping at various points and discussing what we would do in different positions.
Not allowed to talk to the press. Things are that tense in our camp. You seen Sturge?
You can't speak either. He doesn't speak either. Seems very strange. I can't remember without having a beer in his hand. Isn't it? It is, sorry.
24 hours later, the time for joking had really finished.
Mate, at 3 o'clock, it's 3 parts covered. It drops pretty quickly. See, because it goes up.
Well, if you reckon there's no difference with the wind,
I think there's going to be a difference with the wind.
I'll take the kick in, right? Okay.
Hey, JK, we want to score in this corner, mate.
Take the kick and see how they fall.
Well, we'll need to get down there. No mistakes early on. That's the whole bloody thing.
That smelly sock.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you now welcome to the Sydney Football Stadium the New Zealand team.
We started this match so well. Everything had been right beforehand and continued to stay that way from kick-off as we ran the Australians around the Sydney Football Stadium. And we were matching the Aussies up front where it mattered. We were confident that we had them out wide.
Basham. Fox. A high one. Campese, who hasn't been in the game yet. Loose ball. Try is scored by Ian Jones.
All Blacks trapping untidy. Try.
Think about what we said last night, how you all felt in that room. Now more I'm asking, it's 40 minutes. Nothing full of shit we've been through, is it? Jimmy, keep calm and play our game.
Unfortunately, for the next 40 minutes, it was Australia that took control of possession, position, and the test match. And to make sure of the game, a moment I prefer not to dwell on.
New Zealand must score twice to get the lead, so they're playing beat the clock. Lost from Jones to Gavin, and there's Liner drilling it again. An awkward bounce. Edgerton got the bounce. And that's the game breaker. Rob Edgerton in under the posts.
"21 points to 12. It's pretty obvious who lost this one. Enough said. But there was a lot more left to say.
When my baby's walking down the street, I see black, I see black, I see black.
And all those hard chases that you do in every game you play, it paid off with a fortuitous bounce. You must have been looking at that ball about 20 yards ahead.
Oh, well, for an old bloke like me, one of the few things you can do is chase. And you're always hopeful of a perfect bounce. And that one certainly couldn't have been a better bounce for me.
We're there till about 5 to go in the first half and let them in. In the next 20 minutes, we just weren't there. And yeah, they're a good side. They deserve their win, but I don't know. They're not doing a bit now. I don't think they're as good as that, but they deserve their win, yeah.
But Angie, you're an integral part of all of this. A great win for Australia. You enjoyed it?
Absolutely wonderful. I had tears in my eyes towards the end. It was just fantastic.
We went to sleep. We started to make mistakes. Went quiet. And to their credit, they kept the pressure on us and capitalised on those mistakes. Congratulations, Ian.
Thank you.
Well done.
Someone bring the lawn in.
Yeah, I mean, every game, if you don't learn from it, then there's something wrong. And I'm sure that we've learned from today.
So it's back to the drawing board, with not too much time to put it right. For the return test in Auckland, some new blood is introduced. Mark Carter in for his first test, working on the side of the scrum with Michael Jones, while Bernie McCahill rejoins the test lineup, as did that little fellow in the hat, John Hart, who was back with the backs on the coaching staff.
Foxy left. Yep. Oh. JK right. Yep, here it is. Unbelievable. Oh, no. Yeah. Wilder left. Best pop.
And the forwards were being kept in line by another familiar voice.
Jimmy, Mike Jones. Mike Carter, go. Locks. Come on, get there. Front row, get there. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. We get hit. Thing. so we're going to start driving on that. We want it in here.
Some not, come on. All talking. Go!
It was a case of everyone working together for one common aim, helping the All Blacks beat Australia at Eden Park and getting the World Cup campaign back on track.
I don't know.
The team stayed pretty close together in the build-up for this test. We were under a lot of pressure, not only because of the criticism, but because as a team we knew that Saturday was the last chance to put things right before the World Cup itself. It was an opportunity we had to make the most of.
Cool. Blow this one. Oh, it's a bad one.
There'd been a lot of pressure on us all year, but after the test loss to Australia, it was almost getting close to breaking point. It was a simple equation. Lose or draw the next test to Australia, and they'd not only keep the Bledisloe Cup, but have a huge psychological advantage going into the World Cup.
Put it in the cave.
So we were looking to scale new heights. Because if we didn't perform at Eden Park, there might be a few missing from the team photo when the World Cup squad was announced.
Everybody's saying they're down and their morale is down and their confidence is broken. But I personally don't believe that that's right. You know, I think that it's just one of those things. I'd put it that we're on a down at the moment, but it doesn't mean to say we're right down. And I'd be surprised if we don't win the game tomorrow.
These are the scoring highlights from the make or break test. Nothing stunning, but they don't reflect a match full of pace, drama, and most importantly, an improved All Black performance.
Just in Australian territory. Michael Jones. Jones got away. Lovely ball. Innes. Bernie McCarthill, 10 metres out.
1, 2, 3, 4. Baby's walking down the street. I see black, I see black, I see black. Well, I can someone with me walking around free. I see black, I see black, I see black. I see black.
Please miss. The Bledisloe Cup and the World Cup preparation to be decided by one kick. It missed. There was some justice after all.
Before the game started, we had that loose forward pattern where we try to get line isolated and one of us would either hit him hard. And I think that could have put him off his game. I think he was a bit scared of it.
Glad you did it?
Yeah. Well, we're quite clear, yeah.
Just,
that's right.
It's funny, even though we were happy to win, the overriding emotion was relief. We hadn't let ourselves down, nor the people that count on us. Now all that remained was to find out the 26 names who would take the next step to the World Cup.
I had the All Black team to play in the Rugby World Cup tournament, and I'll read it straight out. Terry Wright, Shane Philpott, John Kerwin, Vainga Tugamala, John Timu, Craig Innes, Bernie McCarthill, Walter Little, John Preston, Grant Fox, Graham Bishop, Jason Hewitt, Zinzan Brook, Mike Brewer, Andy Earl, Michael Jones, Mark Carter, Alan Wetton, Gary Wetton, Ian Jones, Steve Gordon, Steve McDowell, Richard Lowe, Graham Purvis, Sean Fitzpatrick, Graham Dowd. The captain is Gary Wetton, and the vice-captain is Mike Brewer.
Of course, the All Blacks are more than just 26 players. We also take with us 100 years of pride, a winning tradition.
Can make you run for cover. Roots that spread so deep.